Hello everybody and welcome to my August Plan With Me video. To those new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Chelsea. I hope you enjoy watching this Pujo setup. This month's theme is a deer, and it was chosen by most of everyone who participated on the poll I posted on my Instagram. Originally, I was contemplating on two themes, deer or butterfly. I came up with this because at that time I was watching these two Netflix series called Sweet Tooth and Nevertheless. Just a little background, the main character in the story Sweet Tooth is a boy that is half human and half deer. Nevertheless, on the other hand, is a Korean drama, and one of the male leads in the story has a butterfly tattoo on the back of his neck, while the name of the female lead in the story, Nabi, is actually Korean for butterfly. Let me know if you have also watched any of this too, and what do you think about the story? So for this cover page, I started out on the left side by drawing in a deer with floral elements around it. In addition, I also drew in a small butterfly on the side of the deer just to commemorate everyone else who voted for butterfly. For the right side of the page, I'll just start with a big letter A in the middle for August, and then drew this deer antlers around the letter. And since I'm going for this deer on a magical fantasy filled vibes, I'm also covering this antler with some leaves. Adding in another butterfly here just to complete the look of the setup. Okay, so now it's time to paint. I have here my watercolor set and my watercolor brush pen. Fill it up with water and then we can now start painting. I chose purple for the colors of the flowers here because it is related to the show that I have been watching, which is Sweet Tooth. In the story, there were strange purple flowers that began to appear, and it is actually one of the biggest unanswered questions after the season 1 ended. A little blooper, please mute this if you do not want to hear this. I have read it that the purple flowers actually cure the sickness, so I can't wait for season 2. I initially painted the flowers with watercolor, but I realized I wanted it to look more vibrant, so I picked up my Posca acrylic pen and colored it in again. My favorite part here is adding in this gold outlines on the drawings. It really adds in a bit of magic in the picture. I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah. Here's a little close-up of the gold outline and how it turned out. I started out by coloring the letter A with purple, but then decided later on that it looked much better in brown. After applying all of the colors, I'm using my alphabet stamps to write down August. Moving on to the next page, I'm going to create my monthly spread, which is really simple and easy to do. I started out by stamping the word August and then drawing in another deer's antler with flowers and leaves. Drawing a calendar this month because I think this brown paper calendar fits in greatly with this setup. I'll just write down the days of the month and that's it. For the bottom part of the page, I have allotted space to write down the special dates of the month and also the goals that I have for the month. For the right side of this spread, I'll be painting one of the scenes from season 1 of Sweet Tooth. I'll be putting a picture on the right side of the screen here so that you will see my reference. By the way, I'm going to be using a gouache to paint this scene. More details about this gouache on the description box below. I did not really put too much details on the painting here because I wanted to highlight the main character of the story instead, which is Gus, and the field of purple flowers. Next up is my habit tracker page. I'm doing the same type of title here with the alphabet stamps, and then it is surrounded by some deer antlers and flowers. on papers with printed calendar for each habit because I'm too lazy to write down the days. Nevertheless, you can still do it and write down the calendar instead if you don't have calendar stamps or printed calendar paper. You'll see me here fixing up a mistake because the first one didn't look right. Originally, it should have turned out like a circle reed. That was my intention, but after drawing it without any outline, I made a mistake and I started over again by drawing in first my circle guide, and then afterwards add in the flowers and the leaves. Next up, we have our mood tracker, which I am writing down using my alphabet stamp again, which is not alphabetically arranged. I don't know if you have noticed it. I usually go back again and fix this, but I'm just curious for those of you who have this kind of stamp sets, alphabet stamp sets. Are your sets organized at all times or disorganized just like me here? For my mood tracker, I'll be making a circle tracker, and inside will be a galaxy deer which I'll create using watercolors. Starting out by sketching the outline of the deer with the floral headpiece. I used the lightest shade of violet first. I applied a lot of water in the paint to make it almost faded and watery. Next up, I build up the colors from lightest to darkest. I added in a stronger violet and then a blue. Add in blacks on the side. Remember to make use of the water as much as possible so that the colors will blend more naturally and not be too stiff when applied. To create the stars, pick up a white watercolor, dip your brush in water, not too much, but just enough to sprinkle the paint. I also did it in gold here as you can see, but this time I just applied it in dots. Now creating my mood tracker key, and I actually made a mistake on this one, but it's no problem because we had the dotted paper to fix it up. Now let's move on to the last page and let's set up my weekly spread, my first weekly spread for the month of August. Just drawing down 8 boxes here for the days of the week. I have an extra box for a to-do list, and then I'm drawing a tall rectangular box on the farthest left side of the page, adding in a small calendar so that I can get a glance of the whole month. Last but not the least, I'm completing the weekly spread with the numbers and the days of the week. As you can see here, I've made another mistake by writing down Monday for August 1 instead of Sundays. But it was not a big problem and I was able to fix it pretty quickly, and so we're done.